Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Stocks about to go vertical. Are you ready for a special live stream? Let's get that bell ready. We're going. Where are we going? We're standing on the moon. I'm going to bring you some information now. You're going to love this. The future. What is the future? $1 billion, best in class, test flights, rate cuts. Rate cuts, are they about to happen? 1,000 miles, we're going for it. And cash to go. These are all the things you need to make money, right? Are you ready? Welcome to the stream. It's exciting. We are here. We're ready to go. The first thing we need to do is get everybody excited. Tap the like button. Have you done that? We're not after 100. We're not after 200. We're after 300 likes in the first minute of a very special, The Future. Consider subscribing if you like this kind of information, unedited, unscripted, ready to rock and roll. What are we talking about? We're talking about a V-shaped recovery. You've already seen it on my portfolio, but there's plenty more to come. We're going vertical on a deep dive analysis that will end all other analyses. We've had what we thought was a crash. We had a correction. We had inflation. We had trade wars, all of which have gone away. Blood on the streets. But now things are about to change. We're going up. We're going vertical. We're going into the future. Are you ready for the future? What is the future? Well, may I suggest it could be, or at least it was, once upon a time. You remember when the first man took flight? He got in a little plane like this. Well, not originally, of course. This is further down the line. But further down the line, he started flying around. Things got a bit more advanced as we went on. And then, of course, everything went electric. Our favourite EV, of course, Tesla. Everything started to change. But now things are about to ramp up. Things are about to go mass production. What could we be talking about that is about to ramp up that everybody's going to want a piece of? Could it be you? Have you done a deal? Are you ready to make some money? Let's get ready to rock and roll. I've got some exciting news to share with you today. So let's get ready. Are you ready for the future? I am. Let me stop this. We don't want that anymore. We can slow that down. The studio is gold. I'm in my gold suit. It's opportunity time again. The light of opportunity is glowing today, nice and bright. We've had a V-shaped recovery. There's a lot to share with you on this live stream. I've got a star guest. I'll bring him in to say a quick hello. Who could I be talking about? Of course, it's the man of the hour. How are you? It's our Vaz, our eVTOL expert in all of aerospace. How are you this afternoon, mate?
Yeah, Martin, I'm brilliant. I'm excited and ready
excited
for the market to take off.
Absolutely. We'll be talking to Vaz in a second. We've got a deep dive on a stock and a whole sector that you need to be part of, and you need to be part of it right now. So what's coming up in this stream? You don't want to miss a part of it. We are talking the future. We're talking $1 billion. We're talking best in class. You want to be in the best stocks. Test flights, you want to be testing for the future. With rate cuts coming down, a stock that can be influenced by rate cuts. What businesses are affected by rate cuts? And do we have a rate cut coming today? I'll show you all that. And 1,000 mile range. What could we be talking about? And plenty of cash to go. Well, we got lots of news to share with you. We got this story here. Vertical Aerospace expands its collaboration with Honeywell as it looks for eVTOL breakthroughs. We like it. Vertical Aerospace launches long-range hybrid electric VTOL program. We've got the ratings for you. We're going to show you the full analysis of the stock we're going to bring you. We're going to do an AI model, which you cannot afford to miss. And this in the last few minutes, just before we came on air. That's pretty convenient. If the US tariffs settle to 10%, the Federal Reserve can and will start cutting. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to cover this story in detail in a few moments, but it affects certain businesses most. Those that are innovative, those that are new, pioneering, that are borrowing money, we are looking for stocks that will benefit from rate cuts because the Mag 7 don't. Nvidia, in fact, benefit from rates being higher. That's why they rallied so much. A lot of the Mag 7, as you know, after COVID, all rallied due to rates being high. Inflation actually protected their businesses and gave them further growth. However, it doesn't work that way for small, new, innovative businesses. They need a friendly, easy environment, open and supportive of new innovation. So it's very, very important to see rate cuts for the stock we are reviewing today to bring you something new and powerful and useful and something that you can make money on. So I've got some more headlines. I've got it all lined up and our star guest is going to help me through all of this. This is some information for you on Vertical. We've got something very exciting here about the 1,000-mile range. I do think that does look a lot like VAS, by the way. $1 billion. Major headline news, this one. And if you haven't been following the show, you will know that this sector is also heavily getting lined up for the Olympics. And we all know what can come from the Olympics. So shall we make a start? We are talking today a new sector. We're doing a deep dive on vertical aerospace. The stocks are about to go vertical, and we've seen that today. Look how it's pumping right now. I told everybody this morning some information that was critical. I said that we're going to have our second face ripping rally. I've already made in the last few weeks 65 grand from the trough to the peak, but there's plenty more to come, and then we'll go sideways. And the markets are about to start chasing and FOMOing in with all this exciting news. Bitcoin, of course, breaking all-time highs. All the other crypto now about to go up as well with all the meme coins. But we want something we can actually own, a business we can own that we don't have to sell. We just own it. If you buy Binky Bonk coin and it pumps 100%, you're probably going to take your profit, right? It has no value. What we're going to bring you now, this holds value, and you want to be in it before it pumps. Is why we are so much behind this particular sector. So let's get ready and let's talk about it. So vertical aerospace. Let me start from the beginning and bring you this here. Vertical aerospace. Now, as you can see, over the last month, it's pumped like a meme coin. It's up 52%. We like that, but it's holding up there. It's not going to go straight back down again like a meme coin with no value. So what's this all about? Let me bring it to you. Let me bring you the news, and I'm going to be joined by Vaz, who is our expert in this space, who will share it all with you. I think we have something coming on the screen. In fact, the messages I get from you today, I will bring on the screen later on during the show because I have a star guest and I don't want to be over his face. So the first thing I want to do, we are very excited about this afternoon. This is going to be a big afternoon. Smash the like button, guys. We're going to get 300 likes. No, we'll start with 200 first of all. You ready? Okay, let's do it. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's pump it up.
The year is 1991.
It's an exciting afternoon.
People are living
We've got rate cuts. I'll be covering that in a second. Everyone tap the like button. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, here we go. This is where you're watching right now. We have 200 people watching. 200 watching. We're just getting started. Here we go. And we've got 8 likes. Rubbish. Let's start with getting the likes up. Are you ready? Once we get to 100, YouTube will suggest this out. Let's see it. Let's see it go. For vertical, stocks going vertical. 61. Let's go, 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 go. Tap the like button, everyone. Tap the like button. I'll bring in the rate cut news. I'll tell you where everything's going. It's exciting. Let's go. We want 200 likes in the first minute of the show. 61. Let's refresh it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. We are now at 83. We're nearly there. Nearly there. We just need another 17 to go. and we will move on to part 2. Let's refresh it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we there? Are we at 100? Let's go, 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 go. It's a great afternoon. We are now at 96. 4 to go, and we've done our first target. Okay, and I'll move straight on to the next part of the show. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Have we done it? Have we done it? Have we done it? I know we've done it. We always do. 100, we are straight in. Boom. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. We're now getting suggested on YouTube. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much indeed. Let me just fade the music out. There we go. Down she goes. Wonderful stuff. Thank you, everybody. I'm loving it. We're already going through. We want to get to 100. We want to get to 200 in the next few minutes, but we're now getting suggested on YouTube. So let's get excited. We've got a lot to cover. Let's get straight into our deep dive. Let's get Mr. Mini-Me out the way. The future, $1 billion, best in class, test flights, rate cuts, 1,000-mile range, cash to go. Let me bring Vaz live on the show, our star guest who takes care of this whole sector. Vaz, you brought this sector to us, eVTOLs. Tell us, it's a lot more than simply a flying car. We like to make jokes about the Jetsons and flying cars. Why are you, I know why I am, but why are you so excited about the future with eVTOLs, and why should everyone watch to the end of our analysis video showing them the future? Tell me, Vaz.
Well, this is the future. This is the future of urban traffic, and this is the future of probably extra city traffic as well. One, it's green because it's electric. It's much safer. It's sexy as well. It's very efficient. And it's attractive for not only their passengers, but for multiple purposes. Like, go on.
No, please finish your sentence.
Multiple purposes, whether we range from tourists all the way through emergency services to transport and haulage.
Now, new innovative stocks always have to borrow money. It's always difficult when interest rates are high, and it's not a conducive environment for new emerging companies. Doesn't bother, like I said before, the Mag 7. They actually don't mind. It crushes the competition. But for new companies trying to raise funds, and it's difficult at the beginning. You've got to borrow money and finance and all the rest of it. That puts a lot of pressure on businesses. How will rate cuts benefit Vertical Aerospace?
Well, definitely, they have a bit of a debt, so that will help them definitely. The whole market environment will be. You can confirm that, or you can concur me. The market environment will be more positive, and there will be more money in the market, so there will be much easier for them to.
So they currently have a bit of debt. Tell me a bit about their current debt position.
They have been through certain restructuralization. That's a difficult word.
Yeah.
There are some warrants to be exercised, but they don't have enough money to take them all the way to, say, 2028, 2029, when they expect to start becoming profitable. So definitely they'll be looking for more money.
Right. But do they have enough cash to get them through to 2026?
Not all the way, but say to the first half of 2026.
All right.
At this point.
Okay. And at that point, then they're going to need to be able to. They're going to be going to the markets to try to find extra funds. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Let me go over now to my analysis. I'm going to give analysis on this, and then you're going to add your contribution to it, right? So let me get started. Vertical aerospace. This is the big sector we're looking at now. We want to bring you stocks that are new, innovative, and they're going to be something that you really can get some major returns from. With major risk, major returns, that the two come hand in hand. We want you at the moment to vote in our poll. We have a poll running in the chat asking you what you think about this stock. Is it a buy for you, buy hold, or sell? I want to get your opinion on this. You can see now here in the chat we have yes 63%, no 20%, undecided. So you don't know yet. That's what this analysis is for, right? Is the market about to go vertical? Yes, no, 17%. Now, what I'm asking you there is, we're talking about this stock in particularly. Is the market about to go vertical? Yes, no, 17%. Because if you say yes and the markets go up and rate cuts come down, that is very, very conducive and very good for vertical aerospace. So is the market about to go vertical? Are we bullish on vertical aerospace? Are we bullish on the future of the stock market? Yes, no, or undecided? I'd like you to vote in that as I start my analysis. So I'm going to start nice and simple. It's going to get a lot more in depth as we go, and then Vaz will add his expertise to it. So here we go. Let me first of all bring up the maximum line chart. You can see here things don't look too good, do they? The stock opened up and now look at it. It's $5.35. It's not technically a penny stock at the moment. Anything above $5 is not technically a penny stock. Vaz, has this stock at all any point reverse split?
Yes, there was a reverse split last year.
It has. Right, we've had a reverse split to save it and keep it in compliance with the SEC to keep it on the index. That's not a good sign. We couldn't get the stock up, then we had to reverse split to hold the stock up and be compliant. Now it's $5.35. Anything over $1, we are safe. So at the moment we are good. Vaz just said this was last year, so we've been okay since that reverse split since last year. Let's have a closer look at the stock. And hold on, by the way, I've got the news about the rate cuts. I've got news about other things as well. So stand by. That's all going to be part of this in-depth analysis on vertical aerospace. Stocks going vertical, rate cuts coming down, and it'll benefit this sector. Vertical Aerospace is a global aerospace and technology company. It engages in the business of designing, manufacturing, and selling a zero operating emission electric vehicle takeoff and landing aircraft for use in advanced air mobility market using the most cutting-edge technology from the aerospace, automotive, and energy industries. And that's where the name eVTOL comes from. Might sound silly, but in my experience, when you use a name all the time, people never actually connect it and they often don't realize what it actually means. Electric, vertical, and takeoff and landing. That's what eVTOL actually stands for. Sounds obvious? It's not. People don't always put the two together. The company was founded by Stephen James Fitzpatrick in 2016, headquartered in London, the United Kingdom, and the listed name is EVTL is Vertical Aerospace. Now, the CEO is Stuart Simpson. Now, we've done many interviews with CEOs live on the show. You can have Stuart Campbell on the show. Easy as pie. Very, very simple. What do? He doesn't want to hear from me. He wants to hear from you, the investors. If you are an investor in vertical aerospace, go to their website. This is what you do. Persistence always wins out all the time. If you go to them and provide value, of course you provide value. You're an investor. Go to investor relations, email them, call them and say, I would love to know more about your company. And the number one eVTOL YouTube channel in the world that ranks higher than anyone is Martyn Lucas Investor. Tell them all about it with Vaz for the eVTOL Hub. And you'd say you'd like to hear more about their company, love them to be on the show. They will then reply to you because you've provided value and service to them. They want that information. They will talk to you because you're their shareholder. You'll build a relationship with them. And when you have alone built a relationship with them, then send them to me and we'll have them on the show on your behalf and you will learn more directly from the company. We've done this now for many CEOs and they will be very happy to be on the show. That's how we've always done it and that's how we'll always do it. So look at the volume, 167,000 today. Average volume is 302. Today's a below average day. Low volume. So if you are a trader, it can be difficult to make money on this stock. You might have to wait a little while because no one's prepared to sell for the price that you want. If there's no volume, there's no movement, you have to lower the price. That's how it works. When you buy a stock, someone has to be prepared to sell it for the price that you want to pay. That's how it works. Market cap, 453 million. Now, once we start covering this stock extensively, we'll rank number 1 on YouTube and Google, no question about it. And we could actually move a stock like this. That's not my intention. I'm not here to pump and dump. No one pays me anything or sponsors me to do this, but I am trying to bring you the best stocks that can make you the best returns. So there we go. I hope you've all tapped the like button so far. I've got the rate cut news. I've got Vaz waiting in the wings to bring us a lot more information. And please click subscribe and ring the bell if you like this content. And you can be part of a very exclusive club. And once we get there, you can't join the club ever again. What am I talking about? The 100,000 club. We're 82,000 now and rolling around every few seconds. 82,019. Subscribe to us before 100,000 and you will be invited to a very special event that only those who are already in the members and the subscribers of the 100,000 club will be able to come to. So make sure that you take part in that. All right, good stuff. So there is our basic numbers. What about the PE? That's the price to earnings ratio, negative 1341. What's that mean? It means it loses money. Does it make any money for you? Well, it won't do. It's an innovative new stock. Thank you so much indeed. The moment I said that, someone just subscribed and we've gone round again. Fantastic. Keep doing that. Let's get to 82,100 in this show. That would be a good target, I think, to reach. Okay, all a nice eVTOL audience. Wonderful stuff. Scrolling down, let's look at our trades. These are our inside trades. These are the insiders. What are they doing? Now, it looks like they've been selling. Have they been selling? Well, you need to look a bit deeper than this. $200,000, $300,000 isn't that much. It doesn't move the needle that much. Let's see if it's automatic trades. We scroll down here and what do we see? Stephen Fitzpatrick, shares sold on the open market. No, he's actually actively sold. This is not done for tax reasons. This is actively selling shares of his own. So we don't like to see that, but it is what it is. Stephen Fitzpatrick, and we've got a comment coming in from Vaz who'd like to put an input to that. Please do, Vaz.
I don't know what is the reason, but Stephen Fitzpatrick has been offloading his stake in Vertical Aerospace, and it's like daily transactions where he sells all the way from $6,000 to $40,000 worth of stock. I don't know what is the reason behind that, but he does it like daily.
Really?
So probably he's just trying to make sell his stake just for the financial
rebalance his portfolio. You got to keep everything in check. Yes, we'll talk about that more later on. Thank you. At any point, put your hand up and jump in. I appreciate your expertise on this. Archer Aviation. Why am I showing you this? This is the other stocks that people own in this sector. This tells us who's in the stock, how they trade it, how the stock is likely to trade, and who's behind the business. Archer makes sense. Another in the sector. We cover all of these. We rank number 1 for all of these. Joby Aviation, SoundHound AI. We rank number 1 for that. Many are upset with me that I didn't cover it. Unfortunately, we couldn't cover 3 earnings at once. We can do 2, but we can do 2, but we can't do 3. SoundHound and Lucid. Lucid, a very difficult stock to trade. Very, very volatile. Charge Point. So what you're seeing here is no blue chips. Oh, there's Virgin Galactic Aerospace. We rank number 1 in the world for that. Rocket Lab, Rigetti, D-Wave, and Big Bear. Fuel Cell Energy, Quantum Computers, Intel. So what I'm seeing here, there's a couple of blue chips, but essentially what we've got, there's a lot of penny stocks, a lot of volatile stocks, and that will give us a lot of volatility and a lot of downside risk, but always upside potential as well. Right, that's the basic bit of information. Now we're going to get a little bit deeper with it. We're going to share with you how it compares back test to the S&P. We're going to show you much more, and then we're going to go deep dive with our expert Vaz as well. Right, let me go over to this. We've got the Vertical Aerospace expands collaboration with Honeywell. You've all heard of Honeywell, a large company. I actually have a Honeywell heater on my bathroom in England. You might be familiar with the name of Honeywell. As it looks for eVTOL breakthroughs, a lot of companies like that will actually branch out and collaborate with other businesses. Vertical Aerospace and Honeywell announced a new long-term agreement on Thursday to deepen their partnership and accelerate the certification and production of Vertical Aerospace's VX4 electric vehicle takeoff and landing aircraft. The expanded collaboration focuses on certifying critical systems for the VX4, including the aircraft management system and the flight controls system, featuring Honeywell's compact fly-by-wire technology. Now, I'm going to mention that for a moment because a lot of people have messaged me before on fly-by-wire when it was mentioned by, I think it was it Tesla? There was somebody who mentioned this recently, and everybody got really. Oh yes, it was in the Cybertruck, and people thought that fly-by-wire meant literally cables because it was used in planes. People said it was used in planes. It's fly-by-wire, as in digital signals, like autopilot. It's not actually cables going up and down, like little wires pulling the wheels left and right. It's actually fly-by-wire means digital signal, digital information being sent electronically. That's what it actually means. Now, that sounds silly, but not everybody realised that, and I learned that when I covered the Cybertruck news. Anyway, so fly-by-wire technology, this is the sort of the word of the day at the moment. Those systems are designed to enhance safety. They are, because when you fly by wire, the processors and the computers and so on and so forth, the onboard intelligence can make decisions far faster than humans. And this is what's important. This is a very key element. When we talk about EV, self-driving vehicles, self-driving eVTOLs, we have to have safety because there's no human sitting there doing it in the future. I'm sure that these will be, and Vaz will tell me in a minute, are we pilotless? In fact, you can tell me right now, Vaz, are we at the moment pilotless on these craft when they first come out, or will there be a pilot, or how will it be flown?
The only pilotless is Chinese EHang, because it was designed originally for the purpose of being pilotless, but currently I think probably for the end of the decade we'll be having a pilot in the cockpit. Right.
Can you see that? Progressing? Like you say, EHang's doing it already. Like we've got cars going self-drive. It kind of sounds safer in the air because there's less to bump into, I suppose. Eventually, though, when we're like the Jetsons, they'll probably be just as much up in the air as it was on the ground. Who knows? What will that be like to look out of the bedroom window? But I would imagine that is where they're going, isn't it? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, there is few obstacles along the way. One of them is air traffic control, the safety, the coordination of the whole system, and obviously the actual AI autonomous module. So it's not a quick fix. It's not.
I wouldn't imagine it was, but that's where they're heading, right? That's where you see it going as well, do you? Yeah. Be more efficient, of course, maybe even safer, be cost effective. You reduce the weight. You got one less person. You can now put a person in that seat. And not literally in the pilot seat, but I'm sure you get my point. All right, let's carry on. Those systems are designed for safety, automation, and ease of flight, with the Atom flight deck serving as the digital core of the aircraft and the fly-by-wire system providing precise electronic control. Both systems will be certified to a stringent safety standard set by the UK Civil Aviation Authority in coordination with the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, aiming for a catastrophic failure rate of less than 1 in a billion. It has to be, right? All this stuff we've talked about. Virgin Galactic, if they have one crash now, the business is over. We can afford that in regular flights because there are millions of flights a day. I'm just making that number up, of course, but there are lots of flights every day, and now and again we have a crash. We kind of accept it. But if we start crashing these on day one, then I'd imagine it would be curtains for these new businesses. There are alternatives, and we would just go back to what we have today, right? Okay, so that's important. The eVTOL HON partnership, which is valued at up to 1 billion over the next decade, based on projected contract value, is seen leveraging shared expertise and resources to expedite development, with vertical targeting VX4 certification in 2028 and at least 150 aircraft deliveries by 2030. The companies are also integrating newly designed Honeywell interceptors for improved pilot control. Looking ahead, Finally, looking ahead, Vertical Aerospace plans to advance the VX4's flight test program, moving into the wing-borne flight phase, a crucial step toward full certification. The company plans to continue system and component testing, develop an additional full-scale prototype, and work closely with regulators to expand its permit to fly. Good. Okay. Is there anything you wanted to add on that one, Vaz, before I move on?
Yes, you mentioned safety, and that 10 to minus 9 is actually the highest commercial standard you can get. That equals to the airline safety standard. And it means when you take off, the chance of critical failure is 1 to 1 billion. And Vertical Aerospace, they already actually had an accident. Their first testing aircraft, their prototype, which was remotely controlled, had a crash. And since then, Vertical Aerospace are obsessed with safety. They claim themselves they are obsessed with safety.
Yeah. And when I read that 1 billion, that was what I was thinking straight away. That is higher than a regular flight. So, and it needs to be, but that's also very encouraging for an investor, right? Because you want to know that this is absolutely not going to crash and no one's going to die. Thank you very much for adding that. We've got a full analysis here. Please do consider tapping the like button. It will share this out to more people. And we're doing that. This is the first time we've done a full extensive analysis with my star guest Vaz on the show on this sector. Why? Because we think the stock market is about to go up again on a face-ripping rally. I've been saying for days, and there it is. It's happening as we speak. It's already starting. We got an overreaction in the bonds. I will mention the bonds, the rates, and all of that in this live stream because this is important for this space. You can't have one without the other. You can't have this sector explode if bonds and rates and interest rates go against us and GDP and PPI and CPI. It's important to understand the overall economy in relationship to these companies, not so much to the Mag 7. They can survive these things. They are affected by macro conditions, but the basic economy is important for an emerging stock, an emerging company. So please tap the like button, and we're trying to do something special today. Let me share with you what we're trying to do. We're trying to get everybody into the 100,000 club. 82,000 now and 18. Keep subscribing, and as we get to the end of the show, we're trying to get as many people in before we hit 100,000 for an exclusive event that you're going to love. Okay, let's carry on. Vertical Aerospace launches long-range hybrid electric VTOL program. What is this? I'm going to come on to all the numbers shortly as well and give you a full AI model that I put together for you and see if this is a good investment other than the excitement, of course, that we're putting onto the stock. Vertical Aerospace on Monday said it's developing a hybrid electric vehicle takeoff and landing variant of its VX4 aircraft. Maybe you could add to this in a moment, Vaz. Expanding range and payload capabilities to unlock new market opportunities. The new long-range variant will be adapted from the all-electric VX4, targeted for a certification to the highest safety standards in 2028. Not that long away. Most people go, 2025, I don't want to be investing for 2028. You do. It's no time at all in the stock market. In fact, the stock market is always pricing in 6 months to 12 months ahead of the economy. So you're already buying the future, whether you like it or are aware of it or not. We're already buying 2026. So 2 years is fine. You don't want to be buying in 2028 when the news is out, because what happens, like we're predicting for Virgin Galactic, it'll be up and it'll be too late. You'll miss the S-curve, which only happens mainly once in a company's lifetime. The demand for long-range, high-payload, quiet aircraft is growing rapidly, especially across defense and critical logistics, said Stuart Simpson, CEO of Vertical Aerospace. Now I'm going to see what Vaz can add to that. Maybe it's got a bit to do with this. We spoke at the beginning of the show, the 1,000-mile range. Let me see if that's what it's referring to. And I can see Vaz nodding, which is great. This is certainly the future. 1 billion. We haven't covered that yet. There's a big opportunity here. Who's going to save you $1 billion? Best in class, test flights, rate cuts. We've still got to do that. Cash to go. We talked about it. They've got the money to take us through to 2026 and reach that position, and the 1,000-mile range. So let me go back to Vaz now. And what is this with this new craft we're talking about here?
This is groundbreaking. If you look at the purely electric powered eVTOL, their range is about 100 miles, give or take 100 miles.
Okay.
This is giving us tenfold of the usual electric powered aircraft. And now Vertical Aerospace can now target, it's opening more markets for them, more opportunities. They can target military and defense, they can target emergency services, they can target haulage as well. So that's amazing news. But what is the best news about this? It's not like they just announced they will start working on it, or they will be doing this. They have been working on this for 18 months. So that is something they are confident on now. They are bringing this to their investors.
Now, how have they achieved that? Have they achieved that by just making the wings bigger, lots more batteries, so now it goes further? Or are they, because that would make the vehicle more expensive, heavier, and so on, and that not necessarily a step forward. If you make the biggest plane in the world with 1 mile wide wings, you could probably go around the planet on a battery charge, I would imagine. But are they making it more efficient and the technology improving? Is that how they've improved it? Maybe you can answer that.
This is a great question, Martin, and it's not scripted, by the way.
No, absolutely not.
They will be using the same vehicle. They will just fit a new power unit into that vehicle. That means they are developing a hybrid. I don't know what that is because it's not disclosed yet, but there is something, whether it's hydrogen, whether it's a diesel turbine, whatever that is, but they will be fitting new power unit in the same vehicle with the same attributes.
Great. Thank you. Great answer. Right. Before I come on to the economy that can improve the position for for vertical aerospace, I'm going to give you some numbers, some basic numbers, and then I'm going to dive deeper. Now, if you like the software that I use, I actually pay for the highest level professional platforms on Alpha Spread, Seeking Alpha, all of these things. And I bring them to you in these live shows so you don't have to. However, if you would like the software, you can get the software with free trials. Without a referral, you don't. Lots of people have referrals, but mine are better. Why are they better? Well, because when anyone contacts me and says, do you want to recommend our product? I only recommend it, number one, if I use it daily all the time. Otherwise, forget it. I don't care how much you pay me. I'm not interested. I approve it. I use it. So that's it. And second of all, is the deal that I'm giving people the best available? I don't want them finding out that somebody else, Bloomberg, CNBC, has a better deal. Otherwise, forget it. And I insist on that. And that's why I always get the best deals for my members. If I don't, let me know and I'll make sure they update me. So if you want Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread, it's in the chat for you right now. You've got to try it. Both of these, you can get free trials, and Alpha Spread, I know the CEO personally, and you can actually get a discount that's so good, it makes my membership for free. How about that? Brilliant. So go and try those both out. So looking at Seeking Alpha, first of all, we've got Seeking Alpha analysts aren't covering it. I am a certified Seeking Alpha analyst. They would pay me lots of money to do analysis for them. They would pay for this if I wanted to, but I don't submit it to them, and I will refuse to do so because who's gonna believe me when I'm paid to say stuff? I don't do it. I've never been a Seeking Alpha analyst. I won't be for anyone. No one pays me. And there are lots of YouTube creators getting paid by Seeking Alpha to make money. I don't do it. Never have, never will. No one's covering it at the moment because it's quite a new innovative stock. Wall Street are saying buy, and I'll show you why in a minute. And that's good, because Wall Street aren't very pro when it comes to innovation. Rubbish at pricing Tesla. They can't understand what will happen with robotaxis. They can't. There's no way they can. They don't know what's happening with Optimus. So it's very encouraging to see Wall Street liking a stock like this. They want to buy it. Now, Quant is the AI software for Seeking Alpha. Very reliable. Outperforms the S&P, by the way. Top tip there, in case you didn't know that. Quant suggestions are outperforming the S&P, have done for several years. So it's a little known secret that. I'm just going to share that with you. They're saying a hold. So they're saying hold on to it. Not buy it, don't sell it either. Hold on to it. Factor grades. We can't give it a valuation because we don't have enough information. Doesn't make any money. Growth, B+, up from C. What we want to see is the trajectory moving in the right direction to buy. We don't want to see everything at bright A's. I mean, it sounds great, but now you've already kind of too late. We want to see things moving up the chain from C to B+. Profitability, D- to F. Perhaps Vaz might tell us, have they recently been spending money or borrowing money, hence why profitability is moved down from D to F? Any explanation there?
Yes, they have restructured their position in their balance sheet.
They got warrants?
Yes.
That's why. That's exactly right. Thank you very much for that. Brilliant. It's great having an expert on the show to confirm what I am reading and assuming would be the case. So when we move from D to F, that often indicates the company has taken on further debt. They've raised warrants. These are ways to raise money for the company. That's why they're now less profitable, because they have got more debt. They owe money, blah, 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 blah. Maybe they've released more shares. There's a whole host of reasons. Okay. Now that is good and bad. It also means the stock price reflects that, so you can buy that. So when things improve, this improves quickly. This is a catalyst for a quick upswing. Momentum, C+. Now that's amazing because we've got F, D, C. Things are moving in the right direction. Momentum, more eyes are on this, but it's not a glowing A. Opportunity now, because what you're looking for is not a glowing A to say, oh, it's A, I should be buying it. I'm not a sheep. We're not sheep here. We're not gamblers. We're investors. What we're looking at is the history. That's what investors do. They look at where a stock was, where it's going, not it's already there. That's what gamblers do, and people jump on the bandwagon. F, D, C. This is good. That's a buy signal. Revisions, C, D, B. We're moving up. Revisions. This is a good indicator. What about the short positions? Short positions. Now, this is interesting, because in the aerospace world, Virgin Galactic is massively short interest. We're predicting a short squeeze. Short squeeze can be beneficial, but they can also finish a company as well. This company, you'd expect, being a penny stock, or nearly a penny stock, just slightly above that status, so we can't say that about it, you'd expect a high short interest. We have one. No one's betting against it. So you're not going to get a short squeeze, but you wouldn't anyway, because the momentum isn't there and the volume's not there. But the fact is, you have no downward pressure. That's good. So we can only go up. That's good. We like that. The forward PE. Now, this is important. This is very encouraging for those that understand valuation. It's why we do this. If we look down here on Vertical Aerospace, we will see at the moment it's negative. Loses money, not doing anything. What we want is a positive PE, and we want a low PE. Now, to put that into context, the S&P earlier this year reached 23 times earnings. That's expensive for the S&P. You want to buy it at 17. That's why I went all in when it went to 17 times earnings, below the 200 moving average and all the other conditions which were in place at the time when I went all in. We've got a negative of 13.41, but this is where everything gets really exciting, and why I'm excited to bring you this business. The forward PE, looking at the latest filings, looking at the latest balance sheet, is positive but low, 1.7. We like that. We absolutely like that. For those of you that don't know, you look at the forward PE of things like Tesla. You could be 700 times earnings, 800 times earnings. We saw Palantir got as high as 800 times earnings. Everybody's already bought it. Now you're just buying a future price that we can't even achieve in 5 to 10 years. Crazy, right? This is a forward PE of 1.7. Very attractive. This is for those that like the space, those that understand numbers, balance sheets, actually understand fundamentals, basic business principles. Everything about this is saying this is a potential buy. Okay, we're going to go deeper. All right, let's just see if Vaz has got anything to add to that. Have you got any thoughts on that, Vaz?
No, I think you've covered it all.
Wonderful. Okay, great stuff. Nice. That's nice and easy. Now, I've run through my AI model. Now, I have this because I pay for the high-end level of Seeking Alpha, a professional trading investing app. Again, I'll put in the chat, Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread. You can get this. I'm not going to read out the information of the business. I've already covered it. I want to value your time. Every minute of my day has a value on it. Every minute. I have a value. Everything I do has to return something that's worth my time. There are things in this world I get often asked to do things and engaging things, and they're not worth my time. There are a few things in this space that have tried to draw my attention that I haven't got the time. It's not worth me investing my time in it. So time is important. So this here, you can pause the video and you can read for yourself if you want to get that information again. But I am going to share this, competitors and unique value. So we put together who the competition is in this space. Vertical Aerospace operates in the competitive eVTOL industry, facing competitive competition from other companies developing similar aircraft for urban air mobility. Key competitors including Joby Aviation, Arch Aviation, and Eve Air Mobility. We are familiar with Joby. We cover it as well. We often rank #1 for that. Archer Aviation, we often rank #1 for that, not just on YouTube, but on Google as well. So we are paying close attention to all of these. And Eve Air Mobility, that's a new one on me. Maybe we'll take a look at that. Vertical Aerospace unique value proposition lies in its focus on zero operating emission aircraft and its strategic plan, Flight Path 2030. What is that? It aims to deliver 150 aircraft by 2030. Now, this is why I showed you. Everything I do has a hidden meaning. I'm always dropping in information to people and seeing if you notice. One of the things I mentioned today in my build-up was this. Ramping up. Anyone can build anything. Anyone can build anything, but can they ramp it up? This is the story of how Tesla is so successful. It's built the machine that builds the machine. I follow that philosophy myself because when I put my studio together, it took me a couple of years before I even went online, building all of this. It improved over time, but I built the machine that enables me to make live videos unedited, as if they were all put together, that some might spend a few days or a week making. I make them live. So it's about building the machine that builds a machine. Anyone can design anything, but you have to mass produce it and do it efficiently. And that's what Vertical Aerospace are talking about here. They aim to deliver 100 aircraft by 2030. And don't underestimate that. That doesn't sound a lot. You might go 150 by 2030. That's 5 years from now. But think about what they're trying to do. They're not trying to produce a car. They're trying to produce something that hasn't been done like this before. This is a whole different industry. And 5 years from now, to build 150 aircraft, you've got to have the supply chain set up. You've got to build the factories, the tooling, the equipment. And that's what makes a business other than a product. And there are many other companies that might just be able to deliver a product, but they don't deliver a business. And that's the difference. It's the same with people talking about it. It's the same with people on YouTube talking about this space. Anyone can talk about it, but can you deliver it as a business and reach people and be effective? We can all just pick up a camera and go live and yap about it, but can we produce a value to others? And that's the point. And that's what this business can do. It can deliver. And that's its plan there. The company's emphasis on certifying its VX4 eVTOL aircraft to the highest safety standard, positions it to serve a global market. Additionally, Vertical Aerospace is committed to innovation, as evidenced by its development of a hybrid aircraft with a range of 1,000 miles. That's what Vaz was talking about a few moments ago. That is absolute key. which opens up new market opportunities in defense and commercial operations. If I'm not mistaken, I think Vaz mentioned that very point. Right, now you're going to see how the AI model explains these factor grades. I haven't read this yet. I haven't got time to read these or prepare these live shows. I do them unedited, but I understand business. I've been doing it for 4 years. I looked at those numbers, made my assumptions, and now let's see if the AI model agrees with what I just said. Hopefully you can remember what I just said. First of all, valuation. The valuation metrics of eVTOL, EVTL, are not provided, which is what I just said, right? Which suggests that the stock might come with uncertainties. It does. Uncertainties is not good. However, it presents opportunity if you understand the business. And that's why we've teamed up with Vaz. You cannot just look at the numbers here because then there's not enough to tell us if it's a viable proposition. We have to understand what the company are doing, what they're building, what they're making, how they beat the competition to show us the potential. And this is exactly what Warren Buffett did with Coca-Cola. You may remember the story of Coca-Cola. He knew before the sales that this would do well. That is the key to future investing. If you are looking to be the new Warren Buffett and buy the new innovation, you have to study, and that's why we have Vaz studying facts, talking to people, and Vaz has a few surprises coming up this summer as well. He's going to find out directly from those who do this stuff. He's going to go there. We're very excited. I'm not going to tell any more about it, but let me tell you, there'll be one man on YouTube who actually goes where they are and finds out what you need to know, and it's our Vaz. That's all I'm going to say. So we need to understand the business. Growth. Growth is a standout with a substantial year-over-year capex decline of 93%. Capital expenditure, that's important. We can all borrow money, we can all spend money, but we have to rein it in at some point and turn a profit. Capex decline of 93%, significantly lower than the sector median. Great. This indicates a reduction in investment spending, which may affect future growth potential. Yes, it may, but they may not need to spend as much money. We've seen that now with Delta, with Virgin Galactic. They are growing, but they're now reducing their capex. You need to do that. We talk about often Facebook, Meta, huge capex. At some point, you have to return on that capex. That's good management. That's not a bad thing. Profitability. The company struggles with profitability. Well, it will do at this stage, won't it? Reflected in its negative cash from operations, negative 61 million versus the sector median of 330 million. Well, it will do. It's innovating. It's spending money. This highlights significant challenges in generating positive cash flow. Obviously, our favorite word on the show is cash flow, but you have to have investment before you have cash flow. Momentum. EVTL's momentum is mixed. Although one-year price performance declined by 27%, its 3-month price performance showed a positive trend of 2%, indicating some recent investor interest. And finally, revisions. The earnings revisions are neutral, with an equal number of upward and downward revisions over the last 3 months, suggesting a balanced view of future earnings potential. In summary, Vertical Aerospace exhibits strong growth metrics but faces significantly profitable challenges. Despite mixed momentum and neutral earnings revisions, the stock's overall performance leads to a hold rating, suggesting the company is expected to perform in line with its sector peers. Very, very good indeed. All right. Okay. That's our AI model of what we draw from that. Let me wind that down. Now then, before I move on to another way of looking at the business, I'm going to talk about this. This is important, and why I've been mentioning all day today that we are on the verge of another breakout. We had that downtrend because of the reduction in the credit score for the United States. It was silly. It was political. After 116 years, why do it when they did it? We know why they did it. It was political. Not concerned about the downgrade at all. But when you get a downgrade, it says to the world that the risk has gone up. The risk hasn't gone up. It's just that they've now caught up with the facts we already know. So all it was we had a reduction in credit backing up what we already know. No big deal. Okay, that's very, very important. Now then, when that happens, we have bonds. We have the bond market surge, and we have people selling off, and that's very important. What we have is the government are trying to raise funds to cover the debts, sell the debt, in other words, and they offer you a fixed return on a bond, treasury bill, what have you. So we had an auction the other day, and nobody wanted it for the rates they were offering, which means they have to offer higher rates. When that happens, stocks sell off. Stocks sell off because it's more attractive to hold bonds, treasury bills, because you've got a guaranteed return. However, it's secular. It goes up and down. Once the stocks get too low, everyone sells the bonds, buys back the stocks, so it goes on. You don't really win with this. However, if debt spirals out of control, the stock market would crash and the bond market would surge. We don't want that. That's not going to happen, but that's what everyone is suggesting might happen. So we need the Fed to cut rates, but the Fed don't want to do it because they're forced to do it. They want to do it because it's the right thing to do. Now then, this is where this comes in. I have said for a year in 2025, 2 rate cuts would occur and then much more in 26. I'm right. Before it's even happened, I'm spot on. I know I'm spot on. It's going to happen. Mark my words. We've just got this information only an hour or so ago, just before I came on air. If the US tariffs settle to 10%, the Federal Reserve can start cutting. The Federal Reserve are data dependent. They need to know what they know. I know it sounds silly, but they use a lagging indicator and they go off the facts. They go off what they know. They don't guess. All right. They do what they know. And what we know is there is no inflation now, but there are other concerns. We have to protect jobs. Now, I'm mentioning all this because all this is important to eVTOLs, new sectors that are borrowing money. We spoke about that a few moments ago. So they're now saying in writing what I've been saying now for months. If trade deals can bring the average US tariff to 10% by July, then the Federal Reserve could be in a good position to cut rate in the second half of the year. 100% going to happen. 100%. Now, why did I say that? Because I have friends who tell me what's going on. I have a direct link to the White House press room. I talk to CEOs. I talk to hedge fund managers. I know what's going on, and I share it all with you live on X and Instagram. There's my link for... Oops, a daisy. I didn't mean to put that one up. Let me try that again. There is the link for X and Instagram. I've been telling you that there's going to be rate cuts this year, 2, no more than 2. And I've been telling you that what Trump wants to do is he wants to put permanent tariffs in place. Now, tariffs aren't inflationary. They're transitory. What that means is people go, well, I go to the shops and prices are always going up. So inflation is always going up. That's Auntie Doris who goes to the shops. She'll say the prices are going up, inflation is always going up. It's not necessarily how it works when you look at the numbers. We have all over the world a standard, a 2% base rate. In other words, every year, everything goes up by 2%. That's what we allow as normal. So we don't have runaway inflation where everything goes out of control, and we have a 1984 George Orwell scenario where everything gets crazy. 2% is regarded as normal. So it's right when Auntie Doris goes to the shops and says everything is still going up. Everything will always go up. It's why we have to print money. It's why your house goes up in price, but it doesn't go up in value. Money is devalued. That's all that happens. Okay, that's why you must always be invested, because share prices go up even if the company goes sideways. Money in the bank loses money. That's the very reason why you always invest, always stay invested. If you have a cash flow, if you have income, you're always in. There's no cash sitting around. I don't have one penny. I have $10 in my Bank of America, and I have $10 in the bank in Lloyd's in England. That's it. Everything else is invested. You see it live on the show. So what Trump wants is he wants to go back to a tariff environment like it was many, many years ago when there was no income tax. And that's what he's moving to. And the bill got passed today. It happened today. It spooked the market. It's why the market went down, then it rallied. Now it's going back down again. Zach is saying in the chat that the NASDAQ is dumping again. Yes, it is. It's trying to work out where it stands with the bonds, but it goes up again just as fast as it goes down. Don't do anything. Leave it alone. Trump is going to bring in 10% tariffs as a standard. Not a surprise. We know it. Everyone knows it. They just play the game pretending they don't know it to try to get the markets to manipulate and whatever. Now, what this is telling us is what I've already known, what I've been saying all year. There's going to be 10% tariffs as a standard to pay for the taxes. Remember, when you add a tax and it doesn't go up, nothing's going up in price. There's no inflation. It's transitory. It's a one-off fee. Everything jumps from here to here and doesn't move. That is not inflation. Inflation is the rate that thing's going up, not a one-time payment, all right? I can't believe that people still argue about this. They just don't understand, or they do know, they just don't want to admit it, right? So a 10%. So this is what's going to happen. So this confirms we'll get the rate cuts. And why I'm telling you this is good for new businesses like Virgin Galactic, innovative stocks like eVTOLs, Vertical Aerospace, who borrow money and so on and go to the markets to raise money. All right? Very, very important. Because once we get rate cuts, people will start using margin. They'll start buying the new stocks. They won't be bothered about the Mag 7. They'll be buying the new innovative stuff. That is things like eVTOLs, right? So if we can get the tariffs down closer to 10%, we are 100%. That's what this was all about. It's the way Trump works. It's taken me a couple of years to learn this, but I've now got it weighed down. I've got enough evidence to support that now, enough data to go on. And then that's all sealed, done and delivered. Done and delivered somewhere by July. Then we are in good shape for the second half of the year with many rate cuts, 4, 5, 6, pick a number next year. Great if you're like me, borrowing on margin. It's just going to get cheaper and cheaper. I can manage it. I managed it way higher. I'm managing it lower, and it's just going to get lower and lower and lower. And then everyone's going to want to buy what I already own, but I won't be selling it, so the price will go up. That's how it works, right? Okay, then we're in a good position for the second half of the year. He said the Fed is likely to remain on hold during the summer. We're going to wait and see what these trade deals do, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens until April the 2nd tariffs. With the April the 2nd tariffs, that would postpone until July, he added. Waller also said he's more optimistic now than he was a month ago that the tariffs will settle to a more manageable rate. Every CEO I've talked to that could deal with a 10% tariff, he said, absolutely. I speak to CEOs all the time. Everyone can deal with this. It's not a problem. They can eat it. They can swallow it. It's transitory. It won't affect you. It's all good. They can't deal with 25 very easily without passing it on at the other end. Now, I'm not going to carry on with the whole of that. This is not a rate cut video, but I can see everyone is staying. And in fact, the numbers are going up. You are enjoying learning about this because this is what is important to understand if we're going to buy a stock like EVTL, Vertical Aerospace. All right. So let me wrap that one back up again. Let me go back over to that story there and start to bring in more from Vaz now as I give you my last bit of visualization before I go over to Vaz's main part of the live stream. I want to show you this. This is just some visual indication of the business. This is my alpha spread. Now you might notice there's not much to show you here. There's not, because we don't have much to share with you. I've dropped it in the chat. Alpha Spread, you can get a free plan of this. All my members can get a free version of this. You're going to love this. I've got the CEO is one of my mates, and you're going to love this. This is it. We cannot give you an intrinsic value. None available. Now, I know there are people guessing about intrinsic values and telling you what the business is worth. They can't. They're guessing. That's the truth. You don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. You cannot, you have to understand, do the hard work, do the groundwork, like Vaz, go into talk to people and finding out who is leading in this space. So all these numbers are very, very sparse. Let me just say that. Nothing even worth showing you. If you want to get the software, you can go into further detail, but I just wanted to show you. Now, this is what it's all about. Now, this is what Vaz was talking about. Now, this is the actual evidence of it. Look, you've got 47 million in assets, and then you go 547 million in liabilities. Well, that can't be right. That means they're bankrupt. No, that's warrants. When I asked questions earlier to Vaz, I said, have they borrowed any money? I can tell from these numbers about the revisions and all the factor grades. You remember me saying that? And I'm looking at it for the first time. This is just experience, and I'm getting it right just after doing it for a long time. So that doesn't make sense. And when you look at it, you go over here and you go other current liabilities, 96%. That will be their warrants. That'll be their borrowed money. It's not regarded as debt. Long-term debt is 1.6 million. It's different. So it doesn't show up the same way on a balance sheet. And that confuses people and it gives you a false indicator. That's why you need to understand how these balance sheets work. All right, scroll down. None of this is really of any importance. Operating margin, look, thousands negative. It's irrelevant. It wouldn't even be that accurate. If you looked at that and went, oh, that's what the margin is, it's not accurate. Don't go off that. You got to go off the development, the actual infrastructure of the business. Now, these numbers show us a bit more. 27% profitability. Now, that's interesting because if this company was absolutely broken and busted and rubbish and going nowhere, we'd have a score under 10. Bright red, under 10. 27% says it's bringing in some money, it's got some funding, it's doing okay, it's making a bit of money, nothing to shout about, certainly not Apple or Amazon, 85%, but that's not too bad for a new business. What it is encouraging is this. 40% solvency. We talked about the cash burn right at the beginning of the video, the live stream rather, this is not a video. We talked about cash to go. All right. We talked about test flights, best in class, 1 billion savings. We'll come on to that in a moment. But this is important to understand here that their solvency is 40. Not bright green, but not red either. What does that mean? You can invest in this company knowing it's not going to go bankrupt in the short to medium term. You want to know that, right? You don't want to be buying something which is literally broken and it's literally going against the wall. That's what that means. And that's because of negative net debt and low DE. Okay, now then, if we look at Wall Street's analysis, we spoke about it earlier, they were saying a hold. You have to look at the full picture. All right, what does that mean, a hold? Is there any upside, downside, a hold? What does it really mean? Well, a worst case scenario, 61% downside. Are we in a worst case environment? No, we're not. We're in a conducive environment. Rates are going to come down. We've just studied that because that's why I brought you the tariff news. So this is out the window. And we've got a pro-business, pro-space administration, pro-America administration. So all of this, we can disregard. Rubbish. That is what's important. 103% upside. Now, that's no guarantee. That's not me telling you it's going to double in price, but we have got 103% upside potential. However, we are actually in this territory of a 205% upside. So is it a buy from me? Well, if you like this sector and you follow Vaz and you understand what Vaz is saying and you know the business that you own, not just guessing and going on a trend because it's sexy and cool, because I don't find anything sexy and cool at all that doesn't make me money. I just think that's just stupid. All right. I use that phrase a lot. Nothing sexy and cool about losing your money just because you thought it was cool. Nothing cool about that at all. So the potential is there, but you need to understand the business. Now, before I bring Vaz back in and with some more information from Vaz, I'm going to give you a very, very important link, the most important link of all today. I've given you the business. I've told you the economy. I've explained how, the money works, but now we've got to give you the knowledge about the business. Someone that's going to go there, talk to the people, go on the ground, go on location. You'll hear all more about it in the future. I'm not telling you much about it right now. I'm just giving you a little bit of a flavor. You need this link. The link is this. Let me share it on the screen. You need this. You need direct contact with the man himself, the man who spends all his days doing nothing but studying this. You need the link to my X account. Why? What does that do you? Well, this is what we do. If you click on my X account, I've just posted the link in the chat. We have what's called synergy. What I do, I believe in working together and not against people. I work as a team. As you can see, I've got 4,468 followers. Thank you. And I only follow 3 people. I could have triple that if I followed for follow, because everyone loves following someone with a decent number. We often see other people in the space doing follow for follow. They might have a couple hundred followers, but they follow a couple hundred followers. I don't do that. Why? Because I only follow 3 people for this very reason. I follow myself for my personal music channels. If you want to follow me, you can find me. That's if you want to know who I really am. Then you can follow Sensei for the charts. You want the charts. You want to be able to read this business. You want to know how to trade it. So you follow Sensei. And then you have Vaz, eVTOL Hub. So all from one link, you arrive at my channel. You start here, and from there, you've got everything you need. You've got myself, you've got Sensei, charts, and the man who knows all about the stock inside and out who's going to be talking to them directly. There is Vaz. So you can now follow all of us and get all the information that you need. Now then, also, before I bring Vaz in, we have a new service that started today, actually, in full swing. We now have the best Discord server you can have. How can I say that? Well, because we do it differently than everyone. Before I started this, I did research and found out people were charging $50, $100 for what I'm doing for free. That's right. You heard me right. Here in the chat is our Discord. I'm going to put it in the chat for you right now. There it is. You'll also find it below in the description of this video. We have got now a Discord premium service. All right. That we charge, the Discord is not free. We charge a couple of bucks for it, $2.99, but the perk I'm about to give you is free. We charge you, this is our link to our server, and this will lead you on to Vaz. This is why I'm telling you this. You can see we only have 132 subscribers because everyone that joins, I kick out. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Well, I do every day. I get 100 people a day join my server by clicking this free button here. We don't want thousands of people. We want people that we can help, and we can't help thousands of people because we have one-on-one training. Training videos start on Monday. Direct access to me. The only way you can guarantee communication, you can't message me on X, Facebook, email, phone numbers, text, nothing. Only through Discord Premium. That way you get a guaranteed reply from me. These are the only people that ever speak to me. No one else speaks to me any other way. So you click on join the server, you see nothing. We have to have that button there, but it goes to nowhere. You join and we just kick you out. It's called kick. It's not me being aggressive. It's just called kick. It says here in the chat all about it. It tells you here, subscribers only. Just don't click on it. But if you do, you do, and we kick you out, right? What you do is you go down here and you become a subscriber. You purchase for $2.99, which is $1 less than it is on the app. Now, I'm telling you how to save money. $2.99 and you purchase. You then come through to this Discord server. Now, you might say, you said it was free. It's $2.99. We charge $2.99 to access our server to have a whole host of perks and benefits, right? You get those for the $2.99. The training videos and access to Vaz and his information is free. Our training videos are free. There are other things that we charge for on this server because my time is valuable, but I can't make it any cheaper than $2.99. That's insanely cheap. People charge a lot more and you don't have direct contact and you get attacked by bots. They will send you fake bot replies. We do it personally and that's why it's limited. At some point I'll cut this off and I won't do any more, but we are starting training videos on Monday. This is the training video channel on Monday just for premium members. We have training videos, your questions. We do training videos, how to read charts. There'll be information here from Vaz, myself, and you can contact us directly and get guaranteed responses. And Sasha has just given it a like. We just launched this a few moments ago. Down here, right at the bottom of the channel, you will find the stars of our show. It says the stars, the YouTube stars. You've got Ed Nevius, a professional scalp trader who's paid thousands to learn, who could charge you $100 a month to tell you how he scalp trades. He's paid thousands for that. We do it for free. That's free. Ed, eVTOL Hub with Vaz. Now, once you go to Vaz's channel, if you'd like to get, there's Vaz, you can see him. He has got his own Discord server for further advanced information because we're not going to include everything on here. Vaz specializes in this space. So once you've come to our service, then if you want further in-depth knowledge, information, then you can join Vaz's server. All right, there you go. We've got Sensei here. Sensei is fully exclusive on the channel. You can see how popular he is. We just launched this today, and look, everyone is lining up for the charts, information. Sensei is going to be here providing the charts for you on Vaz's businesses and all the rest of it and everything that we're covering. So that's what our Discord is all about. Now, I've got some extra information sent in from Vaz. We've got this here. We've got the Form 6K. I think this is referring to the CEO selling shares. I think Vaz will talk. No, it's not. Something else. Okay. We've got Honeywell and a statement here. We've also got this statement here about the 1,000 mile. I've already touched it, but Vaz is going to add a little bit more color. And this, the star of the show. We talked about it right at the beginning, and it's our final point and why we're so excited. $1 billion, the future. You need a company who can outperform best in class, outperform everybody, and return a profit to their investors. So they have to save money, and they have to do the same job as everybody else that can do for less. That's absolute key. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Vaz to wrap up our presentation. Vaz, it's been an absolute pleasure to share this time with you, but now I'd like to talk more to you. Is there anything you want me to share here, or anything you'd like to talk to with our guest today?
Yes, I would like to probably bring up the financial situation. It's not as bad as it looks like. We have enough money to get us through 2025. The company is actively tackling this issue. They have hired 3 experienced directors who have expertise and vast experience in emerging businesses and startups. So they are actively tackling this. There are some warrants to be exercised fairly soon as well. So they will trigger some sell and probably dilution, which is not in favor of us as investors at the moment, but for long term, it is very, very good news, because the company has very low operational costs.
Can I jump into that point then? If you're talking about dilution, has that already been affected in the price, or have we got a price to drop? In other words, do you feel that has anyone already priced this in on the announcement of the dilution and the warrants? Have we had the price drop already?
The price dropped, but the warrants have not been exercised yet, so they are still shelved. So once we reach the certain level, the stock, I had a look. It's about 6% of the float, 6.9 or something like that.
And how much have we lost in the stock price? We're up 54% on the month. On the week, we're down. When was this news issued?
That's back in December.
Oh, so it's quite old news, right? Okay, so the stock is up today. I'm just looking at the month, the week. The 3 months were up. All right, okay. I can see where the stock dropped on this news, and it started to go sideways. Let me just bring it up on the screen. Started to rally up a little bit. So there's an argument to say it's priced in. People are, have kind of got used to that. But do you think it might drop again after they're issued?
That dilution is not going to affect the price massively. I think it will be as the usual dilution, 10-15%, which is great entry point for you if you are looking to enter the stock as an investor. I would also like to say that even a small amount of money will power them for a longer period. If you look at operational cost of Vertical Aerospace for first quarter 2025, they spent $28 million compared to achr for the same period, $144 million, and Joby, $163. So the operational cost is just a fraction of their main competitors.
Okay, I want to drill down because I've got you on, because people are listening and listening to this is very important, right? The dilution, raising funds, have they given any indication what the funds is for?
Yes, operational means operational cost.
Do we have any more color what that might be?
Just the normal operations, because their operations are now consisting of their test flight phase, and they are not. They'll be focusing on that. On their certification aircraft as well, which will be...
So the dilution the funds would not be used for giving the CEO pay rises, lavish parties.
Oh no.
Right,
no.
That's what I'm getting down to. If we can see, and we've seen this covered, but so many times before by stocked businesses in this position. If they are using the money to advance the business forward, it's not necessarily a bad thing to raise money. In fact, it can be a good thing. However, we've seen it in the past. Virgin Galactic played with money like that, and we had a petition. We represented 95% of the world's retail investors. We got a petition with Andy Shovel. We presented it to the board, and we enacted change. They dropped 25% of their workforce to save money. That was a good. And since then, things have improved for the business, and they've been outperforming on their earnings ever since we did that. That was down to us. So you're relatively confident that the reason for raising this money is to benefit the business as opposed to just paying wages.
Actually, I'm glad you brought this up, because today
it's crucial at this stage.
There was a filing release that directors are buying combined or a value of 830,000 worth of shares. So the directors are actually buying the stock now. You won't see it on your software because it was filed this morning. Okay. But $830,000 worth of shares amongst the directors.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody, or anything you want me to show on the screen before we wrap this up?
Do you have the video I sent you?
You sent it me on Discord, right?
Yes.
I think let me just have a quick look. The last one you sent me, right?
Yep.
Okay. What is this? This is. Let me just open it up. Not to start any audio. Have we got any audio? Yes, we have some audio, which I'm not going to play.
Yeah, we don't need the audio.
No, we don't need that. But are you going to narrate over this?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that'll be lovely then. Let's do that then. So you can narrate over this. Let me share this with everybody, and if you could give me your thoughts as we watch this brief video. Okay, Vaz, it's over to you.
So this is what you can see. The flight test phase of piloted flights, phase 2. Which was the vehicle actually acted like a helicopter. It used the rotors to lift off vertically and land vertically. Now we are entering in phase 3, where the aircraft is going to act like a traditional fixed wing aircraft. So basically we will fly this as our airplane, and the test phase 3 is imminent. They promised they will be out flying about in the second quarter, which we still have about 5 or 6 weeks left. But my hot take is that will be next week.
Great.
And obviously, once they start flying, I don't want to say much, but you might see some live footage on the show.
You're giving it away a little bit there, but we do like that. It's going to be exclusive. We're very excited about that. Yes, this does look very, very exciting. Thank you very much, Vaz, for just bringing me that footage. That's absolutely great. And Vaz is about to do something very, very exciting. He mentioned live footage. He's not toying with you. Let me bring Vaz back up. Vaz, thank you, Leah. My wife just brought me a nice cup of tea. I'm going to wrap this up in a few seconds. So final thoughts for you, Vaz, on this stock review today.
I am very positive on Vertical Aerospace. It's their efficient business model when they have much lower operational costs. It's their hybrid power unit, which gives us tenfold of their competitors or the traditional eVTOL powered by electricity. And as long as they get their finances sorted, I think they can compete with Achr and Joby. Probably not directly, but they can be chasing them, and they can be narrowing the gap.
Wonderful.
I would like to say one more thing. Achr have actually less piloted flight hours than Vertical Aerospace for the fraction of operational expenses. Just saying.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Vaz, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope everyone has enjoyed this broadcast this afternoon. I've just going to end the poll for you now. In the poll, we asked you, is the market about to go vertical? 373 votes. 58% yes, 24% no, and 18% don't know. I've just ended the poll now. In the chat, there's a link to the extra channel. We're going to have the after hours party. It's members only, so we don't have any bots, trolls, scammers, people coming in trying to promote and sell stuff, but we'd like to get your feedback. So what we do, we have the extra channel over here, which runs the day's events replay, because we have viewers around the world in 69 countries and 14 languages. So in a moment, I'm going to replay today's events. And as you can see, I am here in the studio live. This is me sitting here live talking to you right now. You can actually see this is actually me in the studio. And then what you've got here is the live chat. This is the actual live chat right now of everybody in having conversations, discussing what they've just heard, whether they like this or not, whether it's a stock for them or not, and you can share your thoughts. But there we go. There's our thoughts today on another eVTOL. Oh, hello. I've got Vaz wishing to add something further. Please do.
You're talking of members, Martyn. I've got a great idea, because I've got this, I don't want to say insider information, but I know the company very well in depth. And I know a bit of these warrants. How about making a members only video where we break these warrants down and we actually are giving some investment advice to our members? How about that?
I am very happy to do that, Vaz. Very happy to do that. So what we'll do, we'll set that up. We'll make that members only, and we'll provide you some extra value of information that we're not going to share to the general public. Wonderful stuff. So let me give you all the links for that then. If you want to become a member, there is the membership link, and you can become a member of our channel. If you are on a browser, on an iPhone, an iOS device, you do need to be on a browser and then select the desktop version. We've just got another new member just joined Discord a few seconds ago, 133 now. At some point, when it's too much, I will top this out. If you become a member, you can send me a friend request as well. I will accept it. You can talk directly to me. I wondered who this is. It could be Stadavi. Actually, I think Stadavi has just became a member from Hawaii. Let me just see if that was Stadavi. It might be. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to check that. But we've just had somebody become a member a few moments ago. Anyway, there we go. There is the link for X. Remember what I said? Click on X. Then you see all three of us together, so you can follow all three of us if you wish to do so. There's Alpha Spread Seeking Alpha. There is a Discord link. And one final thing before I go, because Discord's going to get very, very busy very, very quickly. So you want to join it. Once it gets too busy, I will stop there'll be nobody else that can join. When you join, read the rules, read the information. It's all there on the page. Most people don't read it. And it tells you the first thing that you'll get is people pretend to be me, a friend requesting you to manipulate you and scam you. I never send any friend requests to anyone. I don't message you. I only reply to you. And just look at the roles and you'll see that I'm the role of owner. They have no roles at all. And they also don't have the username. People often get confused because they steal my logo and they steal my username, my display name, but they can't steal my username. That is me, and many of them actual face legal proceedings. You may have noticed that X used to have loads of Martyn Lucas's and Martyn Lucas investors, and now there are none. And two of them are actually paying quite a bit for the privilege of stealing my identity and trying to rip people off. So. And my advice to you would be, just don't do it. Go and build your own content, because we're not going to put up with it. Vaz, thank you very much for your contribution today. It's been absolutely fantastic. This has been a very, very popular live stream. Sensei and Vaz, join me in a few moments for the production meeting. Let's have a conversation. And, well, thank you ever so much, everybody who subscribed to us. We're at 82,032. Lots of people subscribed today for eVTOLs. We like that. Vaz will be very, very happy to see that. That went up quite a bit in today's show. Vaz, absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to hand it off. The link is in the chat at the top. Directly, it'll take you there automatically to the extra channel. You can join us now for the after hours party. Discuss what you thought. Share your thoughts with us. I'll be back in the morning for the opening bell right after Sensei with his breakfast show. There'll be more of eVTOLs, more in this space coming up very, very shortly. That's it from me. In the meantime, as always, until next time, take care of yourselves.
And each other.
Thank you very much. Ta-ra for now. Bye-bye.